Yo, what's up, guys? All right, we are live. Let's let's dive into everything here. So, after yesterday's gutting performance, let's go get some let's get some clarity here. Let's see what's happening. Let's look for some opportunities today. If you guys kind of notice we're approaching kind of the lows on this 1 hour structure here. We may tap into this zone, some imbalance over here. We can actually go back to this area. But yeah, we're deep retracements here on NASDAQ, seeing similar motion here with Dow Jones and S&P as well. S&P working its way down. Had a nice little rejection out of this zone. Took this yesterday, which ended up making back the losses for NQ. But yeah, nonetheless, I think we do have opportunities for buys over here. There's a nice little sell-off over here before it rallied. And then we have another, maybe an imbalance over here. So we can go take a look at this to kick things off. Of course, we also have a couple quick updates. But, we got New York Open here in a short window of time. So, gotta just quickly scan over, gold and silver. Silver specifically, I'm still waiting. I want the market to go lower before participating. And then we also have our eyes on oil. And oil over here did what we talked about. Nice sell-off here on oil. And as this has been continuing to happen, oil only gives entries during London session, at least the entries that I want. So another oil setup that I'm not in because apparently I need to sleep. So, maybe have to just move to the other side of the world. It might just be the move. I think we just have to move somewhere else. So, one of them situations. So y'all catch me somewhere in Europe sometime soon so I can just trade oil. Just one trade, and then I'll come back. I just need my vengeance. Okay, let's take a look at what's the word over here with NQ. Oh, I have something in my eye. What the fuck? The ops guys, they're coming for me. They have stray hairs in the air, so I can't see. Maybe Maya is just a double agent. Oh my god. All right. I'm back. Not blind anymore. So, yeah, let's take a look at price action here. We got New York Open briefly, shortly. Okay, so my perspective and what I want to see right now is I want to show you guys, okay, where is the market here able to come back to? So here, this is going back to middle of October. So there's two key zones. One is the open when we already traded out of the open. This Friday got pushed down, then it gapped up here. So we are right there chilling. Tap this open, and then the market rallied, continue. We saw the market come back down into this area as well, just getting right below this. So a nice push down before the market rallied. Again, we do see imbalance here, so there is the potential for reversals in this area specifically. Now, this is a massive imbalance. This is a huge imbalance. When we have imbalances like this, typically, I was just actually talking to the syndicate about this, where the market does come back to kind of where we've seen last points of supply. So you see how we've had resistance, support here in the past. this area over here can also function as a reversal point for the market. So right around like 24,250, like this range, 24,250, 24,275, all of this can function as a reversal. Even though we did already kind of trade into this zone, oftentimes I've seen this play out. So looking for just some potential over here. We've already played out of this zone, so I would say it is slightly riskier. But anyways, that's kind of what's pending at the moment with indices. That's if we go all the way back down here. Now, I don't necessarily think that's needs to be the case, because we also have our focus over here. So the setups that I think are a bit more, more likely to play out is price action from the 23rd of October. So if we dive in here, here's what we're looking at. You have one, this is pretty efficient. So the market here already moves around nicely, pull back. There is a little bit of a, you could argue and say, okay, we have a bit of an imbalance in here, but we already put out a structure. The market continued pretty well. So that's one. But then this is one that's before New York Open on Thursday. I do see us creating liquidity here, but we do have a strong sell-off before the market just absolutely rallies and it just does not come back. So I think we can get reversals out of this zone. We have a double bottom here, but this is a 1 minute time frame, equal low out of 5 minutes of price action. So these are just zones that are interesting to me that could play out. I'll be real though, these are not textbook. These are like good, they're okay, but they're not my favorite. It's not like abundantly screaming at your face like, hey, this is a setup. You should take something right here. Like, that's really not what I'm getting out of these zones. So I'm gonna see if we can get a second, like a new real-time price action opportunity. I don't love taking buys, just because it gets to this zone that we were looking at from weeks ago here. Like when I look at this and how it sells off, sure, it's a big move down before we get the continuation on from the 23rd, but it's not like that move down doesn't take out a whole bunch of liquidity. It's just not as clear as I would want it to be. So I'm going to stand clear there. We also have S&P that could already just continue to trade lower. And then, of course, we have Dow Jones that may just give us lower movement. So what I'm going to wait for today is I'm going to be pretty selective. As you know, we love to be in the market. That's just like standard how it goes when we're trading. Oh, cool, here's the volatility. Let me find my way into the market. Like, let me get in there. Let me make some money. But it's just not it. These are not like my favorite ideas. And we can go back to price action from the past. We can go back and look at this. This is, again, Thursday the 23rd. We get all that. We just traded down into this level. We just saw a clean liquidity. Like right now, we're sweeping liquidity. Right now, you're seeing Dow first push this low, takes out London session lows, takes out, really that's it. Everything else had been swept already. And Q also in process of clearing out liquidity. I want buys with indices. Like that's what I want to be able to participate in, especially with such a bearish week. I think we could catch a good reversal today, but it does have to fall into just zones that make sense. So our zone from over here, that push down, this is Thursday, right? New York session. S&P is already below that zone. And then Dow Jones is approaching the same price action. So if we wanted to take a look at, okay, well, how did Dow trade out of this zone? We could. Caught a nice little sell there. So Dow is already pretty effective here. It's very efficient. Good retracements, healthy movement. So Dow is good here too. Dow is trading right down into that level. Nice. There we go. And then NQ is kind of the last one to get here. So here is the opportunity, right? The last push down before we go up. I'm open to it. It's not my favorite setup. I feel like it could break even lower if it wanted to, but I am willing to risk a bit on it. Not my full R, but it's partial. And that's that's NASDAQ right there. So yeah, make sure you're logged in. If make sure you have your accounts pulled up. You start to identify what your contract or lot size, like what do you want to risk on a setup like this? Does it look just quality to you? If it's for you, you're like, no, that's good, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I like this setup. And then, you know what? Send it. Follow your system, what the market's telling you. Don't let me get in your way. I still want to take this. I'm just going to approach it with a bit less risk because of the lack of technical confirmations, or I guess it's not as smooth, it's not as clear as other moments can be. So that's indices. Since we're working with the open of markets, one of the things that I talked about yesterday was I am going to be I have now exited my airline positions, and then I'll look to reintroduce myself maybe later after some pullbacks, just because they're closing the airports. They're not airports fully, but like they're winding down capacity considering the government shutdown, etc. So if that's a nice narrative to give a nice little bearish push, then we'll just get in a little bit later. So I'm just taking profits on some of that. But regarding actual market conditions, okay. So looking at opportunities, peso buys still valid, just a matter of time. And then, all right, guys, NQ is starting to work its way lower. Meanwhile, look at Dow. So let's look at this price action here. NQ pushing below already. Keeps moving down. Dow, which also bearish, it's been 6 minutes basically, but starting to stall out. Already starting this bullish momentum. So is looking for a buy on NQ, is that the best idea, considering that how bearish it is, while Dow is still holding up over here? So that's really the difference here. NQ is just bleeding out. S&P as well. NQ now in this zone. So here's the zone in which, you know, I was telling you guys, like, all right, cool. I could see an opportunity in here. This is now trading at Thursday's 8 a.m. ish time, while while Dow Jones already started to shift momentum to the upside. Quite the difference there. So like I said, here we go. Oh, now Dow is like, all right, hold up. Let me pull up. So here we are. Trading over here. NQ just bleeding out. Dow chilling. Holding up significantly better. I'm not going to trade anything, guys. I'm going to stay out of the market. I'm not in love with any of this here. This looks ugly to me. Had let's say, for example, had Dow been bleeding out, just completely crashing, then I would have been, and this was kind of slowly working its way here, I probably would have taken it, but not enough for me. All right, so here, guys, avoided any sort of losses, didn't take any positions here. As we're seeing, market just has a lot more momentum with NQ. And then the difference really here, now looking at this, like Dow holding up significantly better, but now it's building up liquidity. Now it's moving sideways. Can we see another sweep down? Maybe then we get a shift in momentum and we look for something different. That's definitely a possibility. So not going to force this. And then we have minutes before New York Open, the market clears the highs just barely and then goes lower too. So is there somewhere here? Because as you guys are noticing, Dow is like the least aggressive to the downside. So is there an entry somewhere in price action here? And the last zone that I had marked up was all the way over here, which is another, 250 point drop. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up the bar replay tool. Let's see if we can find anything. Did we miss something in here? Is there a nice little mitigation that might have just missed? Let's see. So as we're looking at the market here, a little push down, rebalanced here, market goes up, pulls back again. Here you see a nice sell-off. This is right there. All right, Thursday, clears this low, fills in balance. The market doesn't quite make higher highs until later. It does pull back into here, plays out this order block, and then rallies. So we don't really get a new structure before the market mitigates there. So this could actually look to go here. Finally saw, and we did see a mitigation rejection here. Liquidity was building up. Dow takes the low. Okay. So, yeah, my bias stays the same. I'm just going to wait for brand new price action in order to take anything. It's pretty simple. Pretty straightforward. And then S&P over here. Sometimes, and like yesterday, sometimes S&P is just the one that has the cleanest setup pending. This has worked its way over to this area. We have an imbalance from the 17th, and then over here. So S&P cracking below the 22nd. NQ definitely not there yet, and YM definitely not there yet. So S&P with the most bearish price action at the moment, not looking to buy that by any means. All right, now we wait. Okay, so while we're waiting for just more data, more information, I hope some of you are enjoying oil sells and you're basking in your riches and glory now. I'm just here happy for you. What's up, everyone? What's up, Joe, Harshi, Corey? What's good, Edwin, Mr. Funded, Lonzo? I feel like you maybe took it. What up, Greg, GM, Grand Rising? We got Emmanuel, Edgar. What's up, Amy, KJ? You were able to catch it? Ooh, let's go. Happy Friday. To the UK. Maybe to catch like a Premier League game. That'd be fun. Caught this earlier on gold. I can't see your charts, so I don't know. Both silver and gold sells. Sheesh, what a savage. You were sleeping? So you are a mere mortal, huh? All right, yeah, nice. So yeah, markets, obviously we're seeing nice movement to the downside. The sells look clean on metals, honestly. Yeah, little distro action. Distributions have looked just so solid. Here, another one. Looks like they could be setting up again. Possibly. Gold with a big sweep here before crumbling down. Yeah, that could be a nice push down. And there may be a bounce out of this too. So silver has this nice little drop right there. Takes out tons of liquidity. So you got a lot of retail buying right here. So a little cleanup. Takes out Thursdays, New York lows, Wednesdays, Asian session lows, Thursdays, New York lows, playing into this imbalance. So that looks nice. However, still more liquidity over here, and we have the buy that I want over yonder. So, but this could be nice. We might have a little something right there. Gold had a similar setup, but it already traded out of this low. So we shall see. And then there's a ton of liquidity. So only way I really would end up looking to buy silver, at least this would be a short-term buy, is if gold is just significantly more bearish. And then right now we have it. Nah, it doesn't get deleted in the YouTube chat. YouTube doesn't allow links to go through because, you know, it's just random people showing up on streams. People just send crazy shit sometimes. You got to protect the people. So yeah, no links on YouTube. That's just like how they do it. If you do have a link though, you can share it here. So you can share it in the. You can actually share it in here. Drop it in this guy. Yeah, what's up? What's up, everyone? Jesus, ¿cómo estás? What's up, Seth? Harshi, Gabriel. Yeah, you can drop it over here if you want. If you want me to take a gander. All right. Quick little look back to indices. We have a nice little rally. So big push down with New York open. Clear below these lows. The markets chop up and down. We get another push down here. So final move to the downside before the market starts to rebalance some of this. This was a bullish. So here was a move to the upside. You had a few minutes before New York open. Gets to this high. I'm not going to sell this. I'm just pointing this out. Gets up here and then it crashes. I feel like we just have a lot more liquidity to go tackle. So this to me looks like a shakeout where we clear liquidity, we come back. If we can hold demand or even if we can get higher highs, then I'm open to shorting this. So, or longing this. So something like this. Then I'm more down. Or if we get something like this, you know. Either way, one or the other. I need a little more data though. Do I trade the Russell? Nah, I really haven't. I haven't ever given him a shot. Okay, cool. So that's happening. Silver potentials. In order to short gold, I want to see the market settle down though. I want bearish demand. Don't want this quick drop, come back up. None of that. I want to, you know, gotta let this thing chill here. Yen breaking hearts yesterday. Yep. Before making its move. Like I said in the community, I was going light risk with this one. I wasn't. The structure, it was just so bullish. Yeah, I mean, that's actually, like, for the most part, most of the market right now. Bitcoin rallying out of the zone. It's kind of a make or break situation with Bitcoin. If this kind of stays bearish, like, that's a wrap. That's a wrap, folks. Now, look at how Bitcoin's starting to create a accumulation setup. So we had a strong push down here with New York open. Big move down, mitigates this, and then now we break above this structure. So to me, it looks like we're potentially seeing the formation of a Bitcoin buy scenario. You know, we kind of see the market push down before rallying. So we could see a buy later on here. Especially if we're trading over here and we can sustain this, then a nice little push down. We could get a little buy action going on. This pushed all the way down to where we've seen support before as well when they played off the open. So if that's the case, this could align with Dow or indices in general for buys. Right now, it's a little meh for me. Yes, we see a liquidity sweep, and then we kind of eat it back up. We drop back down to here, but it's just not quite there yet. So the journey continues. Even now with Bitcoin, I mean, we did break above these highs, but price didn't really want to trade here for too long. And you guys know how I feel about that. Now, we will have some. Typically, it kind of fluctuates between it being a orange folder and a red folder. So we do have prelim, Michigan news. I mean, a good excuse to just, be a catalyst for momentum in general. Considering where we're at with structure with Bitcoin, I think if the market drops into the zone, it would be leaning a bit more on hope for buys than purely confirmations. She said GBP in her higher zone. Hold up. Talk to me. Why are my alerts not going off? Oh, it's because it is about to get there. Oh. Okay. There we go. Here's something. Keep us occupied, This will keep my goldfish brain here ready for some action. So, okay, let's look at the rest of the majors real quick. If we are going to consider pound sells, then are we looking to take something that has been, I guess, just less bullish? So Australia clearly has more to go here. It's 6A AUD futures are looking very different to everything else. Pound has been climbing since London session, whereas it was moving sideways with the Australian. Euro was absolutely on a rampage, or CAD futures, my bad. Euro as well. Euro trading up into this zone. We have mixed movement with the yen. NGD very slow. So actually, this is kind of all over the place. The dollar is having a different influence. Like all of these other currencies, and this is actually pretty strange, but all of these currencies are trading different. They're not moving in unison. We don't see the cleanest price action across the board between them. So now being in this zone, what has the most correlation typically is the pound and the euro. And the pound is approaching November 3rd price action, so from Monday, whereas euro is way past that. And then we're seeing CAD futures already rejected that, this price action from that time. Australian has a long way to go before getting into that. So if you want to take this independently, due to how different all of the market looks, yeah, I get it. And then considering the timing, which is, I think, the more important thing, the timing of this with news coming here in a few minutes, the timing is pretty interesting. So because correlation isn't the best, I'm gonna trade this, but with less risk. Like nothing seems to be fully correlated. So I would understand independently though. GBP USD 6B looks clean. So yeah, mark your charts up, get your contract sizes ready. The high here would be 1.3163. So this is looking like a 15 pip move. All right. Hold on. Can this be right? This contract looks a little crazy. Let's see. Am I tripping here? All right. No, I think that's straight. All right, cool. All right. So, yeah, I'm taking my positions here. Let's take this for a spin here. Okay. So we'll see. We got, news in like 90 seconds. And then where to? Right, where does this go? What's the TP? Looking at how the market has moved, yes, there's equal lows over here. Seeing how the market created London lows into this area, it was a nice push down before it aggressively moved forward. So with this idea, honestly, I think just trading into this imbalance is a pretty effective move. So I'm cool with the 2R. I don't need too much. You have a nice little other push down here, but the market chopped up. Looks like it's pretty efficient over here. So if this does happen to go our way, then exiting within this range is good. 1.3121. Of course, assuming this works out in our favor. All right, so make sure you have your stops in place, and that's about it. We got here. All right, that's going. All right, starting to go in our favor a little bit here. All right, not too much more drawdown left here. So, like I mentioned, this is I approach this with a little bit less, with less risk than usual because of the lack of correlation, etc. So I'm in here with half risk on this setup. Let's see what happens. All right, what are these indices doing? All right. Okay, cool. So we had the big move down, came right back up. So we have the rebalancing, right? We've been trading up here for 6, 7, 8 minutes or so. Okay. Interesting. Will we, come crashing down again right away? Are we going to stay up there? And Q way slower on the way up. This is giving early signs of what could be a shakeout. We traded down to here. Left a nice little wick. Traded into the zone. Now it's kind of maintaining over here. Just a little bit. Not too much. This is giving signs that it could sell off. Or it could give us another pullback and then look for a buy somewhere. It's possible. The longer we stay up here, in my opinion, the more confirmations we have for it. So let's see. And honestly, I do kind of like this because we're seeing Bitcoin actually maintain this structure. So look at how Bitcoin now has been trading up here for 20 minutes or so. This has been just chilling up here. A pullback is valid. For me, a pullback is valid. If we end up coming back down now with Bitcoin back under 100,000, then the buy setup is good to go. Yeah, Dow pushing first. Going lower already. As of now, yeah, still going to stay out of indices. Once Bitcoin gets down to here, I'm interested to see what indices look like, because if Bitcoin's going to mitigate and run, then there's a good chance indices are too. But we might need just a different set of price action first. Maybe we break below first and we just get a new setup entirely. I think pound's about to tap us out here. Let's see, where's euro at? Yeah, euro. Wow, euro is still just sending it. It's like, what, 1 tick, 2 ticks off? Hanging on for dear life over here. Yeah, that's about it. So let's see. Let's go take a look at take a look at some majors. I'm taking my small L on pound, and then let's see what we got. Snap up a little bit, nothing crazy. Starbucks, Chewy picking up some momentum. No big movers yet, which makes sense. Indices haven't done anything. Some independent ones. I forgot what this even is. Frog. What even are you? I don't remember. All right. Markets are chilling. Crypto. ICP's been on a just a insane rampage. Fetch woke up. Okay. AI coins starting to move a little bit. Virtual as well again. ICP, huge move. So a couple are moving nicely. Algo. All right. Got Bitcoin working its way down into that zone, that buy zone. Where does that put indices? Deep pullback right now. The mitigation of this looks like it played out decent. If you looked for the short here. NQ, another leg down. S&P as well. So clearly Dow is holding up structure much better. Yeah, not really much else to go over today, guys. Short. This is going to be a game of letting the market come to you. Pound was a setup that. But yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. Appreciate y'all for spending the whole week with us here, joining the stream. If you want to be in the community and take advantage of our resources, here you have everything available to you on screen. So for your community on the left, to join our private group where we have all the training necessary to get you leveled up. It's on the right. And then if you guys are, looking to get nice and cozy and warm for the fall and the winter, then check out the store. Got some hoodies, got some tees. We got the whole vibes going over here. So, you guys can go check that out. Got a whole bunch of new stuff in there now. Mouse pads, new t-shirts, new everything. So, yeah, go check it out. Tradetopia.store. And, let's keep this going. It looks like, wow, indices Dow did do a nice little bounce. Shakeout did its thing. So, looks like maybe we get a different setup here a bit later for continuation on longs with indices. But yeah, enjoy, guys. Have a great rest of your Friday. Make sure your journal. If you don't know how to do that, or if you want to know how to do that, go to the classroom. There's a journaling section as well. So take care, guys. Peace.